Is the Manchester derby.
How different are derby days?
Yeah, no, of course they're different, but listen, everyone in there, we love it.
City have men over here. De Bruyne, Haaland, 3!
That's going to be key going into the derby, but then the big one at Old Trafford, Paul.
I'll go for another 4-0.
Obviously, De Bruyne's maybe not been on his best form recently, but he's one of those players who, if you throw him into a big game, he will produce.
For Haaland. Haaland now, up against Lindelof, plays it in, Foden!
Phil, Erling, Manchester City had to wait 52 years for a hat-trick in the derby. We get two in one day. First of all, you, Phil, just how special was that for you?
Foden! 6-1!
Our biggest game of the season.
And that's a clever ball back for Cole! What a brilliant goal! Superb strike by Andy Cole!
Matchday Live is coming to you live from Old Trafford with me, FG.
2 Derby Day hat-tricks. The argument now is who's going to get the match ball. It's a nice problem to have. City 6, United 3.
Pep, welcome back. How was the break?
Very good.
So the Blues are back in action once again, and after almost 6 weeks of domestic inactivity, what a match on which to refocus after the Qatar World Cup. Gundogan now scampering into the final third. He plays it out wide and the return goes to De Bruyne. De Bruyne in a crossing position. Haaland scores! Brilliant start from City. Brilliant finish from Haaland. Has a couple of targets and in the box is Milner. This is good by Liverpool and they've equalised. Brilliant goal, wonderfully worked and put in by Carvalho. Central midfield, he plays it out wide to Mahrez. Mahrez is onto it, Mahrez hits it! That is a magnificent goal! Riyad Mahrez with an absolutely magnificent finish. Oh, I'll just pause you now because Nunez is onto a through ball. Nunez through on goal. Salah equalises. Liverpool are level within seconds. It was a counter-attack. Nunez darted down, played it into the middle, and Salah put it into the back of the net. Palmer goes back to De Bruyne. De Bruyne looks up, scoops in a ball. Ake! 3-2 City! Nathan Ake restores City's lead. But the referee blows the whistle, and City are through to the quarter-finals of the Carabao Cup. My goodness, was this a colossal match. The final score, City 3, Liverpool 2.
Good evening and welcome to Match Day Live. City are back in action tonight in another domestic cup clash. We return to the Carabao Cup quarter-finals against Southampton. And let's hope it is as smooth sailing as it was on Sunday against Chelsea. We are looking to go through to the semi-finals, of course, after missing out last year. That was for the first time in 5 years. Some good news stats for you. City have lost just one of their last 15 meetings with Southampton in all competitions under Pep Guardiola, winning the last 2 by 4-1 and 4-0 scorelines respectively. We've also won our last 8 League Cup quarter-final ties. Wow, going on to win the trophy in each of the last 6 times that we've reached this stage. We last lost in this round of the competition way back in 2007-2008 against Spurs, who did go on to win the trophy. So the players are arriving. You can see Kyle Walker there and Riyad Mahrez. A big welcome to Matchday Live. Thank you so much for joining us this evening ahead of our quarter-final clash against Southampton in the League Cup. I'm joined in the studio this evening by a former England and Man City defender and a current England and Man City defender. It is Joleon, Lescott and Esme Morgan. Welcome to the both of you. Esme, lovely to see you. Are you excited ahead of the game?
Yeah, really looking forward to it. I mean, when you were reading out the past couple of scorelines then, I was thinking what my prediction's going to be, and I'm going to go big now.
Like it, yes. Optimism in here. And Joleon, welcome. I feel like we've not seen you in the studio in ages.
It's last year. I think it was a year or so. Yeah, no, it's been a while, to be fair. But obviously, there's not been many games on for me to come over and see, so glad to be back.
And you're back for a big one.
Yeah.
Quarter-final one.
Yeah, important ones. Yeah, come for the big. Well, they're all big now. This stage of the season, this half of the season, they're all big, aren't they? So, yeah. Ready.
Thank you. It's lovely to see you both. Now, I have for you the all-important team news for tonight's game. Of course, Matchday Live is the place to get your team news first. So I can tell you there is 4 changes to the team that beat Chelsea on Sunday. So there it is for you. In goal, it is Ortega. And then it's Cancelo, Walker, Laporte and Gomez. And then in midfield, making his first start for City, it is Calvin Phillips. Captain Ilkay Gundogan, Phil Foden, and then up front you have Palmer, Alvarez and Grealish. That is your starting 11. Your subs bench is Edison, Ake, Haaland, Rodri, De Bruyne, Silva, Akanji, Mahrez and Lewis. So that is your bench for today, and that is your starting 11 for City. So 4 changes from the team that beat Chelsea in the FA Cup on Sunday. Joleon, straight away, if you're looking at that team, and you didn't see Chelsea, you might think that that's a big change. But when you're looking at it and comparing it to the Chelsea team, 4 changes made to the Chelsea team. What do you make of the starting 11?
Yeah, the changes, I'm not surprised that there is changes or the amount. It's the actual changes. I've been trying to figure out the back 4. And is it going to be...
What do you think?
It's going to be like Kyle Walker centre-half?
Yeah.
Or is he going to play Calvin Phillips there and Cancelo a more advanced role? So that's the bit I'm unsure about, to be honest.
Take a punt. Don't sit on the fence.
I'm going to go safe then and say Calvin Phillips midfield and Kyle will be centre-back with Laporte.
Do you agree?
Yeah, that'd be my guess as well. I think he's played a few times there for England and maybe once or twice with Pep in the past, and I'd no doubt that he could just slot in quite easily, and any scrapes he might find himself in positionally from being unfamiliar, he can get out of with his pace.
What do you think about back 3?
I was thinking that, but then you'd have to have Walker in the centre of the back 3.
Yeah,
so
which he has played on the right.
Yeah, he's played on the right, but who would you put in the middle? Or would you drop Gomez down and put Laporte in the middle?
Yeah, but that's what I mean. I'll put Calvin in the middle, Laporte on the left.
OK. I feel like that would be tough on Calvin Phillips, throwing him into his first start at centre-back, but Pep's done more crazy things in the past, so who knows?
Yeah.
We will have to spend the first 5 minutes, as normal, working it out.
Yeah.
Because, of course, Gomez on the left, Cancelo on the right, both of them play so far into midfield.
Yeah, it's advanced roles, and that's the beauty of the full-back positions for Man City. They're not just defenders, they're outlets in possession, so you expect them to be further forward, but again, with the wingers, I'm going to say Cole and Jack, they occupy the wide areas themselves, so then that's what's confusing me, and who's going to step into midfield and create the overload.
So, yeah, let's decide then, if we're not sure on the back 4, let's decide on the front 3 then. What side are you putting?
Jack is going to play on the left, and then Cole on the right.
I'm really looking forward to seeing Cole there, because he's not played there much at all this season. I feel like that's where he's most natural, sort of coming in off the line. He does that nice shape to go inside and then
Riyad.
chops it back.
Yeah, he's got the same balance.
They move in the same way, so fluid in their movement. And, yeah, I'm really excited to see him play there.
Yeah.
It's similar to that. I'm really looking forward to seeing Phil Foden play centrally, because we don't seem to see that very often. Do you have a preferred position for Phil Foden?
I think everyone wants to see him in the centre of midfield, as he was against Chelsea, and I thought he did so well. Some of the spaces he picked up, sort of in the pockets between the midfield and back line of Chelsea, were so good, and obviously he timed his run into the box well to get a goal, and I just feel that he could be his most sort of influential self when he's right in the thick of it.
Oh, definitely, I agree. I think, to be fair, wherever you play him, he's going to impact the game, and he's done that since he's broke into the team. But yeah, I love Phil in midfield. I think he's as comfortable as anyone in any of the roles. I think he enjoys getting it off our back line and then travelling with it, and he has the capabilities to do that, where I think other midfielders like to receive behind the lines, where he can just go break the lines with his dribbling.
Well, talking about Phil Foden getting a goal, that gives us a perfect excuse to have a look back at the goals from the Chelsea game at the weekend. Of course, the first one coming from Riyad Mahrez. What a sensational free kick. Just tell us, I mean, it looks insanely good. Look how far out he is. From a professional point of view, Esme, how good was that?
Unbelievable. I mean, I'd never be entrusted with the responsibility of trying to score a free kick like that, so that probably tells you enough. I mean, no matter how talented you are on the pitch in whatever position, it's not a skill that every player can execute. Definitely not me myself. So yeah, it really disappointed me when I saw there'd been the slightest deflection on it, because we were up in the studio watching Matchday Live and we saw the flight of it, and it was just a stunning strike. But yeah, not easy.
No way.
Did you ever score any of them?
No chance. I didn't even in training. I didn't even try that in training. But yeah, that's, as I said, it. Not every player can execute that, and that takes a lot of practice to consistently do that, because he does do it consistently, doesn't he? And no other players are around him. There's no one saying, well, maybe this is my angle. It's like, no, Riyad, go on, do your job. And great free kick.
It's from quite far out as well, so to kind of curve it and get that trajectory.
It was just going, it was just going in.
Unbelievable.
So,
I loved his post-match interview that he did about it as well, when he said, I was speaking to Bernardo and I thought, no, actually, I'm going to have a go at this. I thought it was a bit too far out, but then I thought, no, I'll try and hit this. I loved it. Yeah. I loved the honesty of him there. Talking about another man doing his job as well, of course, the second goal came from Juleon Alvarez. Love to see him on the score sheet, Joleon.
Oh, definitely. Massive fan. I think he'd become a fan of everyone during the World Cup. His tenacity, his appetite to play, but so pleased for him to score. Again, just seems like he's been here for ages. I know he hasn't featured as much as he probably would have liked, but his contribution, you can't argue with that, and his effort when he comes on and when he starts. So, yeah, pleased for him to score, and to someone that looks hungry to improve and play for Manchester City.
Yeah,
I'm so glad we scored from a penalty as well, Esme, I'm not going to lie.
Yeah, it does stress me out with the record in recent seasons, and I saw on Twitter Kepa had been trying to get in the ear of him beforehand, but he was unfazed, no trouble.
Yeah, I was sat so fairly in line with it in the stadium to see it, and everyone started getting irate because I was like, stop talking to him.
No way, yeah, Kepa he's got bad karma in penalties. After he tried to stay, he did stay on, didn't he, in the League Cup a few years ago. So he ain't saving any pens anytime soon. Bad karma.
Penalty karma.
Yeah, penalty karma's coming to get him.
Well, somebody with good karma, of course, is our own Phil Foden, who came with the third goal. Yeah, we mentioned the position that he's playing, but let's just it just gives us an excuse to have a look at this goal from Phil Foden. And what did you make of this one, Joleon?
Again, Phil contributes all the time. Just agility to. I'm surprised he's got so much space. When I seen it, I was like, why is he free? Like, why is no one marking him? It's Phil Foden in the box. But I think that was probably more relief in the celebration due to potential questions which I don't understand about his current form and in and out of the team. This is probably the most frustrating period of time he's had, not playing as well as he has done since he's broken to the team. But listen, if you play Phil enough, he will contribute goals.
Yeah, I just love the whole move behind it and everything associated with it. Yeah, and
good half that was a really good half. The game at Stamford Bridge was great. But that half was like a real confidence boost for me to go, yeah, come on, bring on the derby now. I know we've got this game tonight, but bring on the derby.
Yeah,
it felt like the derby at home. Do you remember when we were so good in the first half and then we just kind of seemed to... we went a bit quiet in the second half because, we knew the job was done,
I think it's just closing the game out. I don't even think it's the team taking their foot off the gas or being complacent. It's just a shift in mentality. It's like, we're going to hide the ball away from you. You're not going to see the ball for another 5 minutes every time we get it, and it's just demoralising to the other team to the point where also, when they do get the ball back, they can't attack properly because they're so exhausted.
And also the other team, if you've conceded 3, trying, like, you don't then want to expose yourself again and potentially concede another 3. So it's like, we'll take our medicine and we'll just take the 3 and we'll look like we're trying to impose ourselves back on the game, but yeah, we don't want to get hit for another 3 or 4.
Well, we did hit them for a 4th, which again came from Riyad Mahrez. Again, we'd just like to have a look back on these wonderful goals. Riyad Mahrez has scored 4 goals in his last 4 League Cup games for City. He isn't starting tonight, but if he comes on, I'm going to feel very confident that he might get on the score sheet, Esme.
Yeah, that's a great penalty. That's a penalty that says he's already scored one in the game, because I think if you've not got one yet, you probably don't lace it into the roof of the net like that, because it's a risky technique.
I've not seen that before. I've not seen many penalties hit the roof of the net on the way in. Maybe if they roll at the back of the net.
That's not far from going skywards, is it? But the net came to his rescue. If it was 13 yards for a penalty, he might have been in trouble, but he was safe on that one.
It feels like we've been asking a lot of questions about what will it be like returning from the World Cup break. Obviously, he wasn't at the World Cup, and it certainly feels like he's a player that break has really benefited as he's come out flying since then.
Yeah, I think they got maybe 2 or 3 weeks away from the club, and that sort of time period just helps you so much. You come back feeling rejuvenated, refreshed, but also just so hungry to get back playing, because when you're away on your own, you probably don't train so much with a football. You might spend time in the gym or do some running individually, but you're not in the team environment. So when you come back into it, you feel so sort of excited and ready to go. And you can see that in the way he's played, because he probably started the season quite slowly, but the last few weeks he's been absolutely back to his best.
Oh, he has. Great timing from him. Now, as always, if you would like to ask our guests any questions, you're very welcome to do so. We would love you to. You can get them in on WhatsApp. Use the WhatsApp number, the same number we use all the time. You'll know it by now. Use that WhatsApp app number and ask our guests a question. Joleon's not been here in a while. Let's tax him.
What was he asking before?
Let's ask him some difficult, complicated, tactical questions. Let's get his analysis. Let's get him working hard tonight. Get your WhatsApp questions in and I will get through as many as I possibly can. And don't forget as well, if you haven't downloaded the City app yet, if you are watching us on the City app, well done you. If you haven't yet, get that downloaded. That is the place to get your match commentary with Alistair Mann for the game a little bit later. Now, I've given you the City starting 11 for this evening. It's now time for the Southampton starting 11. So it is Bazanu, Gineppo, Lianco, Galetta-Carr, Salisu, Walker-Peters, Diallo, Lavia, Ward-Prowse, Mara and Armstrong. That is your starting 11 for Southampton this evening. And immediately jumping out at me there is obviously the former Manchester City player Romeo Lavia, who they bought from us in the last transfer window, and Bazunu, also former Manchester City player that they bought from us as well. Southampton slightly raided us back there in that last
Samadozi was on the bench as well. Samadozi was on the bench.
He's on the bench. Yeah. Yes, Samadozi on the bench. Yes. So first impressions of that team, Joleon?
Yeah, strong. Again, they've got a massive game on the weekend, so it's probably surprised me how strong they've gone. But in regards to not being able to prioritise any games with the form they're in, it makes sense that the manager's chose a strong team because he probably wants to build confidence and momentum. So going into the weekend, so if they're able to get a good result tonight, it just builds for them. Obviously, in the weekend, massive game against Everton.
Because they won their FA Cup game at the weekend against Palace. It's been a difficult start to life for him at Southampton. Not won a league game yet, bottom of the table. So in terms of winning that FA Cup game, coming into the League Cup, is it a bit of a breather for them away from the league, do you think?
Yeah, I think probably when teams are struggling in their league season, they're maybe bottom, if not very close to, and they've not been on great form at all. So I think when you can sort of get a bit of a confidence boost in those cup fixtures and maybe have a bit of a run, you hope that it can spark a bit of momentum for then going back into the league games. So it might have been a bit of a boost for them coming into this game.
Yeah, so Nathan Jones took over when Southampton were already in a bit of a tough run of form. He's taken over. He's not won a league game since he has, but he's won his League Cup game to get him to here and won the FA Cup game at the weekend. Do you think he will have one eye on that Everton game, or is this the confidence that this beating us in this competition, getting to a semi-final, how big could that be for them?
That would be massive. Again, massive for them. And I think he spoke on the impact that he's having on him in regards to the relationship he has with the fans, them not having a win in the league. So I'm sure he wants to get a home win. I'm sure he just wants to win at home, and he's picked his strongest team. Whether that's enough, who will knows? But I don't think they're in a position to kind of pick and choose when they want to get results. I think they'll just pick up any results at any given time.
Yeah.
Armstrong scored at the weekend and Ward-Prowse. Ward-Prowse, obviously, old free kick specialist there, although I did read and see that he kind of half admitted that he was crossing at the weekend, but it went in. I mean, that's nice, isn't it? When you go to cross the ball and it goes in.
Yeah, a bit of luck. Never goes amiss, to be fair. He's such a good player. His set plays make such a difference, and it means that in games where you'd expect City to dominate like this, they've got to be switched on, not giving away any sort of sloppy free kicks around the edge of the box, because with someone like that on the opposition team, it could prove to be costly. But I'm actually just really excited to see how the former City young players do, having seen them show some promise in the academy. And Romeo Lavia was doing so well at the start of the season, and then I think he picked up a bit of a knock, so I'm looking forward to see how they do against the former team.
Yeah, me too. It'll be really interesting to see. I mean, Lavia was really quite highly rated when he was here as well. I think some fans were disappointed when he got sold. Of course, you can understand him wanting to take the opportunity to go to another Premier League club and play first-team football, Joleon.
Oh, of course, yeah. Obviously, the opportunity to play first team is appealing to any player. Great, obviously, experience and development, him being here, but the ambition is to play for a first team, and he got the opportunity to play for Southampton, I think, in quicker than he would have had the opportunities to play for our first team. So fair play for him to taking that. It's a big step, because it's not like he's a local lad. It's another big move for him. So credit to him to taking that opportunity. And like Esme said, then he's doing exceptionally well at the start of the season.
They signed Southampton have signed a new player in the January transfer window, not in the starting 11 today, but Mislav Orsic has come in. He played for Croatia. He played in that semi-final game against Morocco, the quarter-final game against Morocco that they won. He scored in that game. Loads of Champions League experience. So should that give Southampton fans a little bit of hope in that a player of that quality is willing to go to them, given the fact that they are bottom of the league?
Yeah, definitely. And I think you look around sort of at their starting 11 and substitutes bench, and there's probably not many players who have any Champions League experience at all. It's probably a lot of players who've played at mid to lower level Premier League teams or done well in the Championship and come up. And so to have someone with that level of experience and knowledge of the game is going to be a big boost for the rest of the squad, sort of a leader who they can look to alongside Ward-Prowse to try and dig them out of the hole that they're in.
Yeah. Anyone else that you think we should be keeping an eye out on in that starting 11, Jodie? Obviously, Ward-Prowse.
Yeah, obviously. The interesting one is Gineppo. He's a winger and been a forward, but I think they've been playing him as a fullback. So that'll be interesting to see him, because again, it's going to be a different task, because you're going to be defending a lot more than he probably does against other teams when he's played there. So that is an interesting one for me to see.
So the League Cup, of course, the Manchester City Cup, as we often call it. I think even Pep called it our cup at one point, didn't he? Yeah. In an interview recently. So under Pep, we of course famously secured 4 League Cup finals in a row, 4 League Cup wins in a row, equaling a record set by Liverpool back in the 80s. And in that time period, winning those 4 in a row, we secured quite a few records in the competition. So you know we like to pull a game out of our hat now and again on Matchday Live. And so we've got one now for our guests. How is your League Cup record knowledge?
I'm going to say not great, I'll be honest.
Here we go. She's going to know all the answers as well. Yeah. Talk yourself down early. Yeah.
We love to see a little bit of squirming in the guests, don't we? Let us know as well how you do on these questions at home. So, a couple of questions about the League Cup record.
Are we a team?
Would you like to be a team?
I like to win. If she's not confident, I'll go on my own.
All right, okay.
Oh, Esme, that's harsh.
He set the challenge.
You take him on. You show him.
Yeah.
It's in there somewhere.
Yeah,
I'm going to dredge up any answer from the depths of my memories.
Yeah,
we come to me.
Yeah, we got one. We were at Southampton. We won. And Yaya and Samia, I think they scored.
So you've actually won one, so you should know some of the answers.
Yeah. That's 1 point. That's 1 up already.
Yeah, sorry. No extra points given. Okay. No, we'll talk about that later. So
Did you just want a bonus point for having won one?
Yeah. Well,
can I get some of my Conti Cups in? Yeah, I've won 2.
Okay.
There is bonus points now available.
Oh, is that?
Yeah, how many cups have you won? 1 and 2.
Oh, what about the Premier Leagues? No, they don't count. FA Cups?
No. Right, okay, no. Let's end this game.
Okay, no bonus points, we're agreed. Level playing field. So, okay, my first question for you both. The first record is for most appearances in the final. This is for a player. Player with the most appearances in League Cup finals.
There must be a few who've got the same.
In any
club or for City?
So we're talking about the City player that set the record.
League Cup final appearances.
He shares it with 2 players.
David
2 other
Silva.
players, but go for the City player.
David Silva, Fernandinho.
Only one.
Oh, David Silva then.
Yeah. I think.
Oh, wow.
No.
Oh, wow. Wow. OK.
Trying to feed Esme. OK, you've gone David Silva. You've gone David
Aguero.
Silva. No, it's You said it, but you didn't go for it. Fernandinho.
Well, you didn't let me say one, and I just said David Silva.
Yep, it was
but because
Fernandinho.
Yeah, Fernandinho.
Yeah,
I was thinking he was in my
He was
one.
there for the Liverpool one.
He shares it. He shares the record with Emile Heskey and Ian Rush.
Oh,
but
okay.
he is the player with the most appearances in a League Cup final. I miss Fernandinho. Whenever I see his lovely face on clips, I think, I miss that guy. How nice was he to play with, Joleon?
Unreal talent. But yeah, again, he came and he just understated his whole time here, wasn't he, really? Until then he's leaving and you realise how good he actually was. And to be fair, I think he's one of the few players in that position and foreign players that probably got credit, like genuine credit from outside of Man City. He's regarded as one of the best in that position for a period of time in the Premier League. So, yeah, great player.
Right, second question. City have the record for the biggest aggregate score in a semi-final. Who was our opponent across the 2 legs?
Didn't we win? It was like 10. Was it Burton? It was someone lower down the divisions. Was it Burton?
In the semi-final? It wasn't Burton in the semi, surely not. Burton Albion. Yeah, I'll go Burton Albion.
It was Burton Albion. I'm giving it to Esme there. You said,
Is it?
Can't be the
Is it? She said, is it? Asking you the question. You can't answer it with a question.
No, but that was my answer.
That was
You said,
I didn't
is
offer
it Burton?
anything else.
You said, is it Burton? And I said, it is Burton.
About 3 seconds later, when you'd had the chance to think about it, I'm taking that.
It was 9-0 this one, wasn't it?
Well, do you know what?
The first leg score was huge,
She also
wasn't
got
it?
the score. It was 10-0 over the 2 legs.
Yeah, but it was 9-0. So this game was 9-0.
That game was 9-0. Yeah,
knew it
9-0
had
at
come
home,
from
1-0
somewhere.
away.
Yeah.
I remember this game clear as anything. Right, Joleon, I promise you on this one I'll be fair.
Wow.
No cheating, no trying to help Esme, just fair on this one. In fact, I won't even look at you.
Go on then.
Finally, who holds the record for most tournament wins? To give you a clue, this is a joint record, so you need 2 City players on this one.
Most wins in this competition?
Yep.
Aguero and company.
I'm keeping a poker face.
Yeah, he didn't
Esme's
even
gone
react.
first.
How can it be 2? Like, I'm thinking of Vinny, yeah, and David was there.
Maybe someone... Does it count if they were injured or something, or...?
I'm not sure.
Right. I mean, today it'd be
Yeah, I'll go
fantastic.
Vinny. I'll go Vinny and David Silva.
OK, Vinny and David Silva. Both wrong.
Yeah.
Yours was...
Aguero and Vinny.
1 right. Aguero and Fernandinho. We just said that he had the most appearances.
True. Yeah, we didn't think that through.
Yeah.
So I don't know why I'm listening to your answers.
Should have been a team. Should have been a team.
From me, that.
I don't even know who won that. There was only 3 questions, so do you want to just say...
Well, you cheated, so yeah. So
I mean,
it was void. It was void.
I cheated.
To be fair, you didn't actually give me the point for the first one with Fernandinho.
No.
Because you didn't
But
get it?
I pulled the Burton.
You didn't get it right? That's why
The
you didn't.
Burton one, I pulled from here in my head and it just came to the front
Wow.
when it needed to.
Yeah. It's got to be a draw because you're given a 1 point for this, but I didn't get 1 point for Fernandinho when I said he was joint with David Silva.
True.
This is true.
So you didn't give me a
Then
point
there's
for
only
that.
one answer in that one.
Doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Might
But
have
they're both
to bring
the
the
same.
FA Cups and Premier Leagues
Yeah,
in.
we'll have to- yeah.
The bonus points
Yeah.
are coming back again.
And you know what? This is why he's won so many things, so many Premier Leagues, so many FA Cups, because he's so competitive over a game in the studio. But basically, we've just been hugely dominant in this competition for a while. We have now won it 8 times. Liverpool got their 9th last season. So do keep sending in your WhatsApp questions. We love your questions that they come in on WhatsApp. Because you lot always ask the best questions. I always say that. Right, let's have a little look. Loads of them coming through. Oh, Regan's gone for a classic, but always a good one. You've answered this before. I feel like you've answered this before. Was it you and Sean Wright?
About ice cream.
Yeah, you've answered this before. Right.
No.
Esme, Regan wants to know what's your favourite ice cream flavour?
Anything that's sort of toffee or caramel.
Dolce de leche.
What?
Yeah. Nice one, that. Haagen-Dazs. Yeah. I'm sure we had that before.
I don't ever think I remember you saying Dolce de Leche with like you did an eyebrow as well.
Real nice, that.
Yeah, anything along those lines. Or a standard raspberry ripple. You can't go wrong.
Yeah.
Classic. Thank you very much for that, Regan. Love it. Raspberry ripple. Classic. OK. Ethan asks, who do you think is going to be the goal scorer in this match against Southampton?
I think there'll be a few. I'd put money on Alvarez getting one.
OK.
Yeah, same. Who do I think? I'm going to say Alvarez or Phil. Who do I hope? Cole.
Yeah, I agree. I really want Cole to score. I
Or
feel
Jack.
like he's a goal
Or Jack.
away from having been in such good form recently, so yeah.
Love that. Yeah, I think we're all in agreement of that. The ice cream question has gone far and wide. It's now gone to Michael Brown, who's on co-commentary tonight. And he would like to throw in strawberry ice cream flavour. Strawberry cheesecake flavour ice cream. Strawberry cheesecake flavour?
Yeah.
Is it?
Really?
Haagen-Dazs,
Yeah, I was
cheesecake.
going to say...
You've never had cheesecake flavoured ice cream?
Michael Brown said that was his favourite.
That's a real flavour, that's why. It's a nice one, that.
Do you like all that? Is there any flavours you don't like?
I don't like chocolate. Nah. Yes.
It is a bit boring.
Yeah,
I mean, when you just said strawberry before the cheesecake, I was thinking, nah.
No, strawberry's
can
all right.
do better than strawberry.
Nah,
What about
all right.
chocolate if it's got like bits of brownie in it?
No.
Oh, a chocolate brownie one, yeah, I can get on board with that.
No, I
See,
can't.
told you it was a good question, Regan. OK, Tomo, this is a really good question. And it's for you, Joleon. If Alvarez scores a hat-trick tonight and has a blinder, would you start him in the derby ahead of the Viking? This is what Tomo has said.
No. I wouldn't, because the fear factor, as good as a player he is and he has been, I just think the fear factor that Haaland has, I think that's enough. That's enough. Like, so, in greatest respect, if Haaland's not on the team sheet, you're relieved. When you play against them teams, like all the great players, and if Wayne Rooney wasn't on there, I'm like, regardless of who else is playing and how good they are, I'd rather play against them than I would have Wayne Rooney.
And I imagine any Manchester United fans that have seen the team sheet for tonight are going, oh.
Yeah, he's rested him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They've rested him. Right, last question just now, and it's from Chelsea. And Chelsea says, I'm a big Man City fan, and I want to know what it's like to play for the best team in the world.
It's the best feeling in the world. I mean, as a lifelong Blue myself, it's an absolute dream. It's crazy. I think the moment that epitomised it was when we got to play at the Etihad a couple of weeks ago, and I was just looking around, seeing the seat where I usually sit with my season card, and just so much fun. But the club takes so much care of you as well. I feel like even as a non-City fan, you would still love to play for City. I mean, you.
Yeah, I could vouch for that. Yeah, 100%. Like massive, like the most enjoyable part of my career, not just because we were winning, but the people I met, and obviously now still a part of the club, so I can definitely echo the thoughts there of that. Obviously, it would have been nice to know what that feeling like is to played for Aston Villa, but that didn't end great. But in regards to like playing for the team that you supported and being successful as well, not just playing for them, but you've had success, which is, I think fans don't realise that 99% of footballers are fans. We were just lucky enough to make it. And if you've played for the team that you support, then that's special.
Love that. Excellent question. Absolutely love that. I will try and get through some more of your WhatsApp questions a little bit later on. Now, City famously sealed their first League Cup trophy in 1970, wearing, you'll all instantly know it, you'll picture it in your head, the famous red and black stripes for the first time. Mike Doyle and Glenn Pardoe were the heroes at Wembley that day. Now, as some of you might already know, Mike and Glenn are the grandfathers of City Academy player Tommy Doyle. Tommy is currently on loan at Sheffield United and doing very well as well. I do like to keep an eye out for how he's getting on there. We caught up with him recently and we asked him about his grandfather's contributions that day.
My dad used to explain a lot of it to me with videos and seeing it, and obviously as you get older and I was in the academy, you start understanding a lot more when staff members there say, oh, your granddad's, you know. I think obviously even here now, I think on one of my first days, the security guard said to me, you were Mike and Glenn's grandson, and you know, stuff like that. Even still now to this day, you know, you see that the massive effect that they had on people. And obviously for me understanding it is obviously very proud and just happy to be a part of them. Watched the game, obviously I watched it with my granddad Glyn because he shown it me, and again just like so impressive, I think, you know, with what they've done in the game, especially for the club. And it just holds a massive place in my heart, really, you know. Obviously now they're not here. Just that, you know, the history will never change. You know, what they've done will always be a part of history, whether it's now or in 100 years' time, you know. So it's brilliant. Paths take you in different ways for whatever reason, but, you know, for me, my heart will always be there wherever I am, whether it is there, hopefully, or if it's somewhere else. But yeah, 100%, that would mean everything to me.
Oh, absolutely love that. Mike Doyle and Glyn Pardoe, two real, genuine Manchester City legends. Part of that team that won our first League Cup back in 1970. And of course, we've already established that there is a man in the studio today that's also won the League Cup. So we're going back to the 13-14 season, Joleon. You were part of the squad that won that. You played in every minute.
Oh, don't.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Oh, no.
Every minute, yeah.
Oh. What happened?
I don't know. Like that, we had a big falling out after that, to be fair, me and the manager. And it wasn't because I didn't play. It was because of Joe Hart was in and out of the team. And then when we got to the final, he picked Pantilimon ahead of Joe. And his justification was because he's played more minutes in the previous rounds. But I played the most minutes. So I was like, well, how can that be the reason he plays, but it's not the reason I play? And he obviously disregarded that. He just thought about it for that selection process and not mine. I was just like, I gotta lose respect for you. If that's the reason for that, but it can't be the reason for me, then yeah, I'm not gonna not try anymore. But yeah, the respect for him was gone.
Did you come on or?
No. And I was captain in the semi-final as well. That was the first time I'd led the team out against West Ham. Away, I think it was, away. Obviously, we won that game, and then I'm thinking, and the lads, like a couple of lads are like, I don't think he's going to pick you. I was like, nah, there's no way he's not going to do that. There's no way he's going to not pick me after he's saying these things about playing the minutes, and then, I played every minute, and then, no.
And we really owed you as well getting to the final, because in one of the rounds you did this.
Oh.
Do you remember this? So Newcastle think they've scored.
Oh, great
in extra time.
Yeah.
And then you did that.
Don't remember that, to be fair. That was the thing, though. As a defender, you do that, don't you? If the ball goes over your head, you try and clear it.
And then
you get on the goal line. And it was funny because Fabio Capello at the time used to hate that. Like, hate defenders going on the goal line. I'm thinking, well, if I'm not there, it's in. You know what I mean? I'm not going there to waste time. But, yeah. I forgot all about that, to be fair.
Oh, well, I'm glad that we made you smile there.
Yeah.
Why not?
We wouldn't have got to the final.
I still get the medal, by the way. I still got the medal. Don't worry about that. I contributed. My teammates didn't forget, and the fans don't forget, so that's the most important thing.
You've got that medal, you've got an FA Cup medal, and you've got a Premier League medal.
Two of them.
It worked out all right, eh?
Yeah, not too bad.
Two of them, of course. Sorry.
Let's not forget.
Not playing it. No way.
It's great to win any of them, but how does it feel to know that you've won all the domestic trophies?
Yeah, again, that's a real thing to realise, and I only probably realised it when it was over. You know what I mean? It was the Premier League was one because that wasn't a thing when I grew up. Growing up, the FA Cup was the trophy you thought you could win because I was obviously at Wolves, and it was a competition that every club was in. Not every team plays in the Premier League, but in regards to this was the final one for the collection. But these goals, this is an outrageous goal as well from Samir.
Ridiculous finish. Outside of the boot on the half volley. What a goal.
Both of the goals, I think their goal was decent as well, to be honest. But again, this was this season is probably the greatest season our midfielders ever had.
That was prime Yaya. Every single game, he would run the ball from his
that season,
own box to the other teams. It was ridiculous.
Stupid. So, and I don't even think he won Player of the Year.
Did he do that in training? Just breeze past everyone?
He did it a few times, but not to the extent of where... The first time he did it was Sunderland away, and they had a corner, and it fell to him, and he ran the length of the pitch, And we got a corner and we were like, yeah, where have you been hiding all
What are you
this?
doing?
Like, where's this been? This whole time you've been here, you've just been chilling and you've had this. So then we were just like, yeah, we need to see that every game. And credit to Mancini, I think he played him a bit more advanced then and he was up to no good. Yeah.
Oh, I love that. I still, one of my favourite ever teams that year, and I'll always love hearing stories about them, as I'm sure that you do as well. So reminiscing about when Joleon won the League Cup. Let's move along the sofa. Let's talk about when you won the League Cup. So of course, the Continental Cup. You missed out on the final last year because obviously you were coming back from your injury, but you are in there. Where are you?
At the back somewhere, trying not to get my legs stood on, to be honest. The day before, I actually went to see my surgeon in London. I think it was at the 6-month mark, and he said, "You're good to go, you could play tomorrow." Bear in mind, I'd not set foot on a blade of grass in 6 months. Surgeons have different criteria to physios when it comes to coming back from injury. So they were like, "You're good to go, you can run." So then, of course, when full-time whistle went, I was running onto the pitch, all bussing, trying to hug my teammates, and the physios, "Esme, stop running, you're not allowed yet." I was still on like 70% body weight on the anti-gravity treadmill, and as soon as the surgeon gave me the all clear, I was off. I was like, "Gaz, get me on the pitch for this game," but not to be. I was not ready to run.
Oh, I'm glad you got to be there, to be a part of the celebrations, though, and to experience that with your teams and your friends.
It was so much fun because usually the injured players are just sat right behind the bench, so you're still really involved with the atmosphere among all the substitutes, sort of encouraging and cheering on from the sidelines, and you see everything that goes on with the changes and get to hear Gaz whinging about whoever's made what mistake and whatnot, so you're still so involved. So yeah, when we won, I still felt such a part of it, and it was just so much fun because we were really poor the first half, and then second half we just absolutely dominated, so you can kind of separate yourself from it as a player and just watch as a fan, which is a lot of fun.
Much like the men's team as well, so the Continental Cup is a competition that we absolutely love and we've won many, many times. You back now, you played in the last group game against Liverpool. How was that for you?
Yeah, it was when it was the really cold week, so it was freezing. I think I had 2 pairs of gloves on, 2 pairs of socks.
You play with gloves on, centre-backs.
Oh, I was right back that game, so I can get away with it. Yeah, a bit more
true.
Flair.
I played.
I'd have left the gloves at home. Don't worry.
Same.
Yeah.
Is that like an unwritten rule for centre backs? No gloves.
Yeah, my uncle tells me off if I wear like an Under Armour as well, but I'm like, come on, I'm not going to wear a T-shirt in freezing cold
I couldn't wear short sleeves.
No.
I had to wear long sleeves. But the gloves is it's kind of a no-no, isn't it?
Yeah, centre back. But I thought right back today I can get away with it.
When
I'm
I played left back,
midfield at times.
Oh yeah, so, crossing the halfway line, I'm allowed to wear gloves. I'd drop a shoulder or attempt it.
My dad's always on. I feel like he's on glove watch. He's always looking out for, like, you know, it's in the summer months when it's warm, the first player to wear gloves. And they're done in my dad's book.
Oh, God.
They're done.
Oh, Riyad Mahrez. I don't think I can't remember games with him not having gloves on.
And it's always the T-shirt and gloves look.
I don't get that.
Yeah,
I'm thinking if you're cold, you're cold, no? So you'd wear a longer top.
But might just have bad circulation to the extremities. Can't blame him.
I love the way chats go on this show sometimes. Obviously, seeing your team being there, seeing your team win it last year, you must be so hungry to want to do it this year and to take part and to be in the final.
Yeah, desperate to. I mean, you want to win every trophy, but I've not actually played in one of the cup finals that we've won yet. I think I've been a part of maybe 4 wins, but not managed to play in one yet. So that's definitely on the list of things I'd like to do.
Right, I love that. I love the chat that happens on this show, and you're all going to love this bit as well. I don't know if either of you have watched Inside City today. It only literally came out this afternoon, so you probably
Give us a chance.
Right. Jesus,
they've not
working today, you know.
They've not watched Inside City yet, so they're going to have absolutely no idea what we're about to talk about, which makes it even better. If you've not watched Inside City yet, then what's wrong with you all? It came out and I watched it straight away. So there was a conversation that took place while the team were in the middle of one of their recovery sessions. Do you know what? I'm just not going to say any more. Watch this.
Who used to tell you to go away? Hey, Johnny, here you go. These hippos are more in the but they're not more. The hippo can stand up in the swim. Have you seen them run? Yeah. Outside the water.
about that I adore. Like, you don't even know Bernardo Silva's there and all of a sudden he's popping up and then Kevin can't let it go. Kevin is leaving the room and turning around, making sure everybody knows his point on that. Before I find out from Esme and Joleon, is it hippo or a crocodile? Is this a normal conversation that happens?
Not that them actual.
Not specifically. I've never heard that one before.
I've heard like a bear and a tiger who's winning in that, or like animals. You definitely go through that 100%. And Siri, and Siri is the provider of the source. Like if you can't decide within the group, you have to go online, find the answer.
And ask Siri.
Yeah, or ask whoever it is. Used to be Ask Jeeves back in the day.
Oh. Showing your age now, Joleon. Crikey.
Yeah. Google, get us something.
I haven't heard Ask Jeeves in about 10 years.
I feel like that was blocked on the school computers, Ask Jeeves.
Yeah, depends what he was asking him.
Oh my goodness, he's going to be talking about MSN Messenger next and contacting his friends on that. Right, so the question that Rodri posed, the original question, would you rather be in water with a hippo or with a crocodile? Let's get to the bottom of it. What do you both think?
I'm actually with Rodri. Like, I think I'd rather a hippo because if I saw a crocodile, I'd be splashing about everywhere and they'd know I was there. Whereas a hippo, I feel like I'd be more calm and maybe try and go away slowly. I don't know. I wouldn't.
No, a hippo does kill more humans than crocodiles within the year. But like I said, a crocodile's gonna eat you. Like, there's no debating, is it? It's not. You're not debating. Like, you might not get eaten by a hippo, but a crocodile ain't messing about.
You've been to South Africa. You've been to Cape Town with City. Did you go on any safaris?
No
Did you learn
way.
anything?
No way. I'm not trying to. I didn't even want to go to the zoo, and like there was like we went to the zoo and then we could have feed koalas and baby kangaroos. Joeys are they called? Yeah. I was like, nah, I'm all right outside. I can see in. I'm not. That's not my domain. That I've seen enough.
Have you seen videos of hippos swimming though?
Rapid.
They're actually quite cute though, how their little feet.
Underneath the water.
Yeah.
Outside the water. They just
outside the water when when you see them lift their jaws. Yeah. Not fun, but
not so
underwater, I feel like I could maybe just quietly float away from them.
Love it.
No way.
See, I love it. It's a great question by Rodri. I think that if I was in the water, I'd rather be with a hippo because I think, like you say, a crocodile wants to eat you. Yeah. A hippo just doesn't want you to bother it. If you bother the hippo, you got them. You're a goner.
Yeah. Can we do like a live poll? Is that possible?
This would be interesting. We do have a WhatsApp number. I mean,
they've got polls on there now.
Can you WhatsApp us?
Yeah, the new WhatsApp. We've got the poll thing on there.
Crocodile or hippo? If there's any crocodile hippo experts watching,
a hippo bite, it's over, innit?
It'll bite you in half.
Where the death roll, the crocodiles come with the death roll, so it's I might come back for you later.
Yeah.
Yeah, no. Yeah,
Can we get a zoologist on the line to tell us the answer?
Do you know what? It's a really good point. There's only 17 minutes till kick-off. I feel like we could continue this conversation and ask them to pause the game. You never know, right? Let us know. Croc or hippo? Are you on the side of Kevin De Bruyne or what? Do let us know. I'm going to keep an eye on it. Oh, Pete is the first one that's WhatsApping. OK, Pete says, to add to the hippo versus crocodile conversation, hippos are faster at running and swimming than humans. So your only chance to beat one in an Ironman... Oh, no, Pete! Oh, OK, right, I'm going to read this again. OK, Pete said, hippos are faster at running and cycling than humans.
Cycling?
Start again.
That's the third version of the same thing. Take your time, Nat. Take your time.
I've really destroyed Pete's joke here.
Oh, wow, don't.
Okay. Hippos are faster at running and swimming than humans, so your only chance to beat one in an Ironman is on the bicycle.
Right. What if we're eating in the swim part? That's the problem.
Pete.
Yeah, you've killed that. You've killed it, Nat.
Pete, tumbleweeds in the studio.
Pete, we would have found that brilliant if Nat hadn't messed it up.
Blame that, yeah. Useless.
Pete, I'm sorry, that's my fault. I thought you was making a serious point and I ruined your joke. But thank you, Pete, for participating. Right, so we got some more questions that have come in on the WhatsApp that are not hippo or crocodile related. Brian has messaged and he says, for both guests, what match in the last 4 years, that's very specific, Brian, in the last 4 years, have brought you the most joy or the most emotion?
From the men's team?
Whatever. One you've played in, one you've watched.
Do you know, I loved the derby towards the end of last season. I think maybe we won 4-1 or something, but the atmosphere was electric. And I sit up in South Stand level 3, so you're kind of close to the away fans. And I don't give them any stick or anything, because I think what if someone caught me on camera saying something
We'd
I
love
shouldn't?
it. We'd love it.
But my little brother, I mean, he's not too little, he's 18 and 6'3", but he gives the away fans some abuse, honestly, and like everyone around just gets going. I love games like that. And even playing in games like that, when everyone's got this sort of battle mentality, it's just so much fun.
Love that. Love the idea of your little 18-year-old 6'3" brother. Little brother.
Last 4 years, game. Ooh. The most emotional, and it's not a great one, by the way.
Oh, you're not going to say it, are you?
Go on.
You're going to say the Champions League final?
Nah.
Okay.
I think the Real Madrid was worse.
Oh, I think you're right. You know, I think I blocked that totally out.
Real Madrid, that there drained me, man. Like, I wasn't even playing, but that was probably the most emotional I've been since the most like ecstatic, or the time I thought I want to play was Brighton. When we lost that game after COVID, when the fans came back, Brighton away, that was the time I realised, I wish I could play again. Yeah, that was a real moment.
Great question, Brian. I think you're right with Real Madrid as well.
Yeah, that was horrible, man.
It was leaving. We were there, and it was leaving the stadium, getting back to the hotel. It was just everything about it.
You just feel so flat and deflated, don't you?
There was nothing you could say about that. It was disgusting.
Yeah.
Oh, Brian.
Cheers, Brian.
Brian, you've really knocked the mood out of the studio.
Pete, quick.
Pete, come back.
But send it to us, don't send it to Natalie.
Pete, we need a joke.
Destroy it.
Quick, help us talk about crocodiles or hippos again. Thank you so much for sending in all your WhatsApp questions. Really is appreciated. I love your questions. You always think of something a little bit different as well. And of course, at half-time, if you want to add to the hippo or crocodile debate, you're very, very welcome as well. If you're just joining us, a big thank you. We are around less than 15 minutes away now for an 8 o'clock kickoff in the quarter-final of the League Cup against Southampton. This is your starting 11 for City this evening. It is Ortega, Cancelo, Walker, Laporte and Gomez. We think Phillips, Gundogan, Foden, Grealish, Alvarez and Palmer. That is 4 changes from the team that beat Chelsea. Your subs bench, Edison, Ake, Haaland, Rodri, De Bruyne, Silva, Akanji, Mahrez and Lewis. That is your City team and subs. Your Southampton starting 11. Bazanu, Diempo, Lianco, Kaletakar, Salazu, Walker-Peters, Diallo, Lavia, Ward-Prowse, Mara and Armstrong. Your Southampton starting 11 for tonight's game. So around about 12 minutes away from kickoff, and don't forget the best place to get your commentary is on the City app with Alistair Mann and Michael Brown, whose favourite ice cream is strawberry cheesecake flavour. We learnt that a little bit earlier on even. Right, final Joleon's face. Yes, final thoughts ahead of the game. We've got don't give me score predictions quite yet. How are you feeling? What sort of game do you think it's going to be?
Oh, yeah, I'm confident. Again, I just think it'll be quite dominant. Won't do the score. I'm not sure about that either yet. But in terms of the way the players will perform, I think the performance from Chelsea is a massive confidence boost. So I'm expecting them to continue that, really.
Have you decided, are you confident on the back four? Obviously, we were talking about it a little earlier on in the show. We were debating it. You've had maybe 40 minutes to sit on it now, Esme. Can you give us a definitive back four?
If someone had a gun to my head, I would say Cancelo, Walker and Laporte at centre-back and Gomez at left-back. I just think that's having most of the team in their most natural positions, and Walker's intelligent and experienced enough to just slot in wherever. And I always think with Pep's teams, everyone knows each and every role within the team so well because he goes into that much detail on a daily basis that you could put a right back at left wing and they'd know exactly what the system required of them. So I can see Walker being at centre back.
In terms of that midfield, Joleon, Calvin Phillips gets his first start for City. It was a difficult start to life for him here, picking up that shoulder injury. So thrilled, though, to finally be able to see him start. Yeah,
definitely. We covered the Barcelona game when he did it. So horrible, especially when you go to a new club. Last thing you want to do is get injured. I was kind of similar and I came here. I was in the team, but then got an injury and you're out, and you just want to perform. You just want to get involved. And as I said, now he is. I'm sure he's raring to go because probably didn't play as much as he wanted to in the World Cup either, but great experience. So now I'm thinking he's just, business end of the season. I'm ready, as fit as he can be, and ready to play.
What do you imagine he's feeling right now, Esme? Obviously, as somebody that's come back from an injury back into the team as well. What will be going through his head? Will he be sort of desperate to prove himself tonight?
Yeah, I think it's probably just optimistic excitement, to be honest. Exactly as you said, he'll be ready to put in as strong a performance as he can. Obviously, Rodri's someone who's near impossible to displace in this team because he does that role so well. So really, the pressure's off him. He's just coming back from injury. The expectations aren't going to be through the roof in terms of what the coaching staff are putting on him. So I think it'll just be pure excitement to sort of get back in the side and get a run in this team.
Yeah, thrilled for him. Really, really hoping he has a cracking game this evening. And then up front, we were fairly confident that it was going to be Foden in the middle and Palmer out wide. Joleon, are you sticking with that? And are you looking forward to seeing the two of them in those positions?
Yeah, I'm looking forward to if Cole is out wide right. Again, I think Jack's the biggest one in regards to, I think he plays left. I don't think he's played many other positions. Again, could Phil or Cole change and Phil be on the right? Who knows? I don't think there's a bad option for either of them because they both can play that, but I'll be excited to see Cole on the right wing.
Jack was ill at the weekend, so wasn't in the squad at the weekend, back in the team now. He's a player that I've been so impressed with lately. He seems to be more settling into the team with every game, Esme.
Yeah, and a lot has been made of Grealish since he started with his goals and assist numbers, but over the last few weeks he's popped up with quite a fair few assists, and you can see what it means to him. Whenever the camera sort of cuts to the celebrations, he's always off on his own, passionately celebrating, setting someone else up, and I think that's really nice that he's got this selfless instinct that he just wants to be involved and produce and help the team in whatever way he can, and he'll be so happy that although success in the game's not dictated solely by numbers, it's what a lot of people focus on, so it'll be a nice confidence boost for him that that's no longer a talking point.
Yeah, absolutely. And the way he celebrated that assist, Joleon, in the Chelsea game, I just loved it. It clearly meant so much to him. Yeah,
definitely. Obviously, the manager said to go on and make an impact, and I think he's probably one of the few players that probably enjoys assisting more than scoring. I think you can see that. I think even the game against Leeds when he got two, he probably should have scored in the first half himself, but then he gets two assists and he's, as I said, then he's passionately celebrating, which is unique for a player not to want to score. So, yeah, Jack's playing really well at the moment, and hopefully that continues tonight.
OK, it's time. Give us your score prediction.
I'm going to go 3-0.
Ooh, OK.
When you said the other ones were 4-0, 4-1, was it? I'm going to go 5-1. Oh. I'm going big.
Wow.
5-1. OK,
wow.
I like it. 5-1 and 3-0 from our guests here in the studio. Oh, I hope so. I hope so. That would put us into the semi-final of the League Cup again. Very exciting, lovely. We'll, of course, be back at half-time talking about everything that happens in the first 45, and we'll be back at full-time, hopefully talking about City getting through to the semi-final. The draw for the semi-final is after the game this evening around 10 p.m. If we're still on air, we'll tell you immediately who it is, as well as if that is City getting through, of course. Yeah. So now you want to get your commentary with the wonderful Alistair Mann and Michael Brown. You can get that on the City app. Get that downloaded nice and quickly if you haven't already. Thank you so much for joining us on Matchday Live this evening. Keep those WhatsApp questions coming in as well, and your opinions on hippos or crocodiles. Enjoy the game, and we'll be back with you at half-time.
Well, welcome to St Mary's Stadium. You can probably hear that there is a marching band playing when the Saints go marching in around the perimeter of the St Mary's Stadium.